Welcome to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Mendte. On this week's show, a bill to decriminalize marijuana is passed even though the public gets to vote on legalization next year. We sat down before the vote with the author of the bill to talk about the politics of marijuana. Also on today's show, 25-year-old Stephanie Pars from Monmouth County has been missing now for 2 months. We sit down with her parents. A deadly fungus is spreading in New Jersey. We'll tell you what you need to know. And the CDC is predicting this will be the worst flu season in a decade. Our friends at Cooper Medical tell you how to keep you and your family safe. And now, our interview with Robert Singer, Senator from Ocean and Monmouth counties. Let's talk about decriminalization, because it seems like a lot of the focus has been on legalization. You're pushing a bill for decriminalization. Why?
Ron Rice and I had a bill about 1.5 years ago that decriminalized small amounts of marijuana. Why do we want to ruin people's lives? And that's what it was doing. Clog our jails, clog our court systems with people who are using it for really recreational period themselves and really not criminals. So we put a bill to do so. They wouldn't move it because the governor wanted to tie it to legalization of recreational marijuana and wouldn't move them separately.
You're not for legalization?
I'm not for legalization, but I am for decriminalization. And in a reasonable amount, by the way. So they came back with a bill that said you can have up to 5 pounds. People don't understand. 5 pounds of marijuana is having a wheelbarrow full of it. I mean, that's just...
You're in business at that point.
You're 1 pound you're in business. I mean, we're talking about 10 ounces, 12 ounces, things that are reasonable, 14 ounces. I'm willing to be flexible on that because I want to decriminalize it. Now they're moving forward with that. I received some phone calls from the governor's people this time. Would I support that? And the answer is, if it's a reasonable amount, absolutely I'll support it. I believe in decriminalization, but I don't believe in legalization.
Let me ask you about the two tied together. So you're dead set against legalization. There's nothing that's going to change your mind on that.
Correct.
But you're for decriminalization, and I get what you just said, what your reasonings for that. Is there any hope that if decriminalization passes, it hurts the argument for legalization?
Absolutely. I think we're taking away the bite because their answer is people are getting locked up. We're taking that away. Now you're saying strictly recreational and the problems that come with it. And you know what? If you look at other states, you know, they like to play with numbers. They tell you that opioid deaths have gone down in other states once they legalized it. But they don't tell you that's before Narcan. Narcan has changed that nationwide because, again, we have less deaths because of Narcan. So if you take a look and say, okay, back out the Narcan situation, what really happened, they don't want to talk about that. If you want to talk about the answer about homeless and about people on the streets in these cities that have it, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the crime issue. They don't want to talk about automobile deaths and accidents. All the things that are negative about legalization, they don't want to talk about. They want to talk about the money. And this is a money grab.
You keep hearing it's not about money. You keep hearing over and over again, no, this is social justice. It's not about the money.
Well, let me ask you a question. If it's not about money, you know, if you buy medicine in any drugstore in the state of New Jersey, there is no tax on medicine. Why is there a tax on medical marijuana if it's not about money? They claim it's medicine, but yet they taxed it.
What about recreational marijuana? Just not tax it?
They're going to. Well, if they tell me it's not about the money, then why are you looking and talking about the hundreds of millions of dollars that come into the revenue stream? So you can't have it both ways. Let's be honest about it. It's a money grab. And if that's what you feel is good for your state, fine. I think it's a negative for our state.
The interesting thing is decriminalization, it hasn't been put up for a vote yet. It hasn't gone to committee even, right? Decriminalization?
Well, no, but they're in a rush to do it in the lame duck. I think we're going to see it in the next few weeks.
Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely, because they're questioning about it now, and I think they could push it through fast, and that's what they're hoping to do. Because again, in lame duck, a lot of things are not questioned as much. You can push things through, and I think they're going to try to do it.
So if decriminalization passes, it would hurt, I believe, it would hurt the legalization referendum because it does take away that social justice part of the argument. That being the case, would the governor sign it?
I think he'll sign it because, again, criminalization of small amounts are absolutely devastating many, many people. Having expungements, doing these things for people is the right thing to do. It's the moral right thing to do, and I think the governor would do the right thing.
Because he may not get legalization if he does that.
Well, but I think also he's a fair man and understands that by not doing that, he hurts a lot of people, a lot of young people. and people that, again, can't get jobs or having other problems in their life because they have a criminal record. It's just wrong. It's morally wrong. Let's clean it up. You have the support for it, let's do it. I don't think he would veto that bill.
In many ways, in pushing decriminalization, you might be trying to expose the hypocrisy of the argument for legalization.
Hopefully.
I didn't expect you to be that honest about it, but I think it would. I think because if you're talking about the social justice issue, this deals directly with the social justice issue.
Well, but I'm trying to be reasonable about things. I was one of the 2 Republicans that voted for medical marijuana because I believe that people that felt that helped them, whether they're on hospice or they had chronic illness, that's important to them. I didn't want to say no to them. Again, I supported decriminalization because it's the right thing to do. I just think legalization is the wrong thing to do, and for a lot of reasons. I mean, consider one thing. We sit between 3 states, Connecticut, New York, and Pennsylvania. If we legalize it, guess where they're all going to come? I'm a sure legislator. What is that going to do to the Jersey Shore? People coming here, buying it, using it, and on our roads. It could be a very, very serious problem. And we saw that years ago when we legalized, we had different ages for liquor. And people would go from state to state if they found themselves that I couldn't drink in New York because it was 21, but I could drink in Jersey, it was 18. So we had people getting killed on our roads, traveling back and forth. What do you think is going to happen? There is no test if you're stopped by a policeman. It's his thinking that you may be high, but he doesn't know for sure. So you don't have a test. You're on the road, possibly high, and you're traveling back to New York, you're traveling back to Pennsylvania, you're going to Delaware, you're doing to Connecticut. My God, and the Jersey Shore comes down from all those states, because they do come down to the Jersey Shore. We have other problems with drugs now. Marijuana will make it, to me, unmanageable.
Yeah, this is exactly why AAA is against this, the legalization, because of the dangers on the road and the increase in auto insurance. So you believe in this lame duck session, it's going to go through committee, it's going to be passed, and it will be signed by the governor?
I think they very well might push it through. There's been rumors about it. I've gotten some phone calls asking my position on it from the administration. I think the governor has to sign it. How can he turn to the people that are going to be affected by not having expungement, by not losing that decriminalization factor, and say to them, I didn't sign it because I want legalization? That doesn't fly. That doesn't fly with all the minority groups, and by the way, that all support decriminalization. And the fact being is, I think he'll do the right thing for the state.
What about menthol cigarettes? You want to ban menthol cigarettes?
We saw a lot of things happening with that. The cigarette companies were absolutely targeting the African-American population with menthol cigarettes. 90% of the users of menthol cigarettes were in the minority communities. So what does that tell you? That tells you they found a marketplace. It's the brands Kool, Salem, Newport were all sold heavily in those areas. And therefore, very, very honestly, we want to stop people from smoking. We don't want young people to take up the habit. And if menthol cigarettes becomes a better tasting way to do it, well, let's not have them. Now, I know the other answer is, well, to go to other states, to go to the black market, so be it. But we can't be part and parcel of causing cancer to our young people and encouraging them to smoke more.
Now, does that have a chance, like the decriminalization? Is there support for banning menthol cigarettes?
It's out of committee in both houses. It should be voted on. I believe we're going to see it voted on this month. And I think we'll be on the governor's desk before the lame duck is over.
Wonderful. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more broader about taxes and also the political climate right now in Trenton. When we continue our conversation with Senator Robert Singh, a Republican in the 30th Legislative District.